Yeah. Yeah. Drama, 예빙의 shit.
Track me on the beat, boy.
Time court, twisting in my skull like a spiral fuse. Structure patterns, bending through the timelines I lose. Seconds break over when the shadows choose, but I warp that fall in the past I use. I'm a carnivore runner with a fraction mark. Time exploding in my chest like a flare in the dark. I tear the seconds to the minute spark and weaponize every ticking knock. Clock spine trembling in a rapid spin. Time core pressure cutting under my skin. I've been the rupture that was pulling me in and detonate fate from where I begin. Temporal echo shaking in a shifted storm. Fracture shards slicing when my fears transform. I take the hour that was never warm and burn its spine into a new form.
Time cold crack and break the chain. Fracture running through your vein. Detonate the hidden pain. Rewrite seconds you contain. Split the hours in your mind. Tear the moments left behind. Fracture fate you used to find. Rise through time you redefine.
Track me on the beat.
Now I'm ripping through the minutes like a blast, I'm bound. Time core screaming in a spiral sound. I crush the timelines that once held me down and fire my will through battleground. Fracture lightning, tearing in a crack rewind. Seconds melting in a ruptured bind. I drag the past into what I designed and forge new futures from a broken mind. Chrono pressure bending in a molten dive. Time detonating while the worlds revive. I twist the collapse till the sparks arrive and ride the fracture till I stay alive. Clock shards cutting in a forward blaze. Time core torch shifting in a brutal haze. I call the detonation in 1,000 ways and climb past fate through every phase. Every tick I break becomes my roar. Every second fuels me more and more. I blast the time through a shattered door and rise ascended. Time restored. Time restored.
Time cold crack and break the chain. Fracture running through your vein. Detonate the hidden pain. Rewrite seconds you contain. Split the hours in your mind. Tear the moments left behind. Fracture fate you used to find. Rise through time you redefine.
Track me on the beat, boy.
Rise through time you redefine.
Get me on the beat, boy.
Time cold, tear the night. Fracture sparks and burning flight. Detonation shaping light. Rise beyond the fading sight. Break the clocks that held you still. Bend the hours to your will. Fracture fear you couldn't kill. Crown of born to send uphill. Eternal loop, spinning in my skull like a broken reel. Instability crawling through the cracks I feel. Seconds replaying in a vicious wheel, but I twist that glitch to the cycle's nil. I'm a loop on fighter with a timeline bend. Surge currents rising where the echoes blend. I grab the moments that refuse to end and break the loop into a force I send. Time rings trembling in a ricochet burst. Instability driven through the pains I nurse. I cut the rhythms where the loops reversed and build my surge from the chaos curse. Tunnel echoes twisting in a warp descent. Loop shadow bleeding through the time I spent. I see the fracture in the dissonance send and drag the stability to my ascent. Eternal loop, break the spin. Instability pulling in. Surge the chaos to begin. Rise beyond, I'll bound you in. Twist the circle in the flame. Bend the glitch that spoke your name. Instability you overcame. Loop on soul, reclaim your frame. Yeah. Now I'm ripping through the loop like a shock line tear. Instability screaming in electric air. I crush a reaper that was waiting there. And surge reborn from the disrepair. Loop vibrations cracking in and chaos dive. Time breaks static, keeping fear alive. I flip the circles so they don't survive. And force my will just to stay alive. Temporal sparks shaking man against the haze. Loop distortion burning in my gaze. I twist every red in 1,000 ways. And climb instability through all its phase. Eternal loops melting in a molten trace. Surge pressure turning in a frantic pace. I grab the downfall, drag it into space. And break the circle, leave no trace. Every loop I shatter, freeze my mind. Every surge rewrites the time behind. I grasp the circles that once confined and rise ascending. Eternal loop, ignite the verge. Stability becomes your surge. Break the circle as you merge. Rise beyond the walls of purge. Shake the lines that held you still. Twist the glitch against your will. Search through fate you couldn't kill. Loop, burn fire, send a pill, yeah.
Ayo, check it out. Chrono vein pulsing in my arms like a twisted flow. Spiral timelines coiling where the shadows go. Seconds bleeding within a fractured glow. And I ride that breach till the rhythms grow. I'm a time thread walker with a spiral spine. Clock blood dripping through a warp design. Twist the pulse in a shifting line and crush collapse like it's never mine. Temporal currents drilling in a spiral sweep. Vein lines somewhere where the hours seep. I've been the pressure that once cut deep and turn collapse in the power I keep. Chrono lace that goes tearing through my chest. Spiral instincts waking from a fading rest. I gotta ruin that I once repressed and forced to break. And the progress blessed.
Crown of vein, twist the stream, spiral
through the time veins like a cyclone burst. Spiral torque built into the second's thirst. I crush the breakdown that the shadows nursed, and fire collapse through the universe. Chrono curve stepping in a war-torn glide. Spiral fractures all me deep inside. I felt the timeline through a tilted stride and push collapse to the other side. Time vein pressure roaring in a liquid blaze. Spiral shockwaves cutting through the haze. I tell the minutes in 1,000 ways and shake collapse into what I break. Sonus running spiral slashing in the shattered dark. Vein fire burning like an inner spark. I write the timeline once cold and stark and rise rebuild beyond the dark. Every collapse becomes my climb. Every spiral sharpens time. I've been the seconds in the prime and rise ascending sublime.
Crown and vein, twist the string, spiral in the dying dream. Collapse the fate you couldn't redeem. Rise and change the moving theme. Bind the seconds to your will. Bend the hours standing still. Spiral shifting through the thrill. Chrono born ascend the hill.
Yeah.
I know all the ghosts.
Yeah. Fate lines cracking in my chest like a rusted chain. Temple venom slipping through a crooked vein. I read the timelines where the dark remains and twist that break till the world refrains. I'm a favorite before where the seconds die. Cutting destiny open with a stillborn cry. I shred the pathways that they glorify and build new futures they can't deny. Typical just flickering a warborn spark. Mutation rising from a realm gone dark. I fold a minute till they leave their mark and tear the shadows from their arc. Face screams cracking in a ruptured storm. Temporal threads bending out of form of form. I got the chaos that was once the norm and force mutation into something warm.
Fate, ripper, cut the thread, mutation where the time is bled. Shift the future far ahead, rise from paths you left for dead. Twist the hours into flame, bend the seconds in your name. Mutation frees you from the claim, rewrite fate and stay.
Now I'm slashing through the hours like a blade on fire. Fate and reveling under my desire. I twist them into a warped empire and tear mutation from the muck and mire. Temper pressure bending in a fractured dive. Fake the lesson in a burning hive. I shit up against to stay alive and carve mutation where I thrive. Destiny crumbles in a phase shift crash. Time shaping through a glitch won't flash. I break the kitties they tried to stash and rise mutated lightning rash. Fade course stepping in a molten turn. Temple signals ripping when the pulses burn. I fit the room into what I earn and build ascension that they can't discern. Every destiny cup becomes my climb. Every mutation sharpens time. I burn a path that was never mine and rise ascend and redefine.
Fate, ripper, cut the thread, mutation where the time is bled. Shift the future far ahead, rise from past you left for dead. Twist the hours in the flame, bend the seconds in your name. Mutation frees you from their claim, rewrite state and same instead. Ripper, break design, mutation carving your own line. Shift the clock to try to bind, rise and leave their fate behind. Turn the fracture into might, cut the timeline through the night. Mutation brings you into sight, fate undone, you claim the right. Eternal loop, spinning in my skull like a broken reel. Instability crawling through the cracks I feel. Seconds replaying in a vicious wheel, but I twist that glitch till the cycles kneel. I'm a loop-born fighter with a timeline bend. Surge currents rising where the echoes blend. I grab the moments that refuse to end and break the loop into a force I send. Time range trumming in a ricochet burst. Ability dripping through the pains I nurse. I cut the rhythms where the loops reverse and build my surge from the chaos curse. Eternal echoes twisting in a warp descent. Loop shadows beating through the time I spend. I seize the fracture and the dissonance send and drag instability to my ascent. Eternal loop, break the spin. Instability pulling in. Surge the chaos to begin. Rise beyond the bound you're in. Twist the circle in the flame. Bend the glitch to spoken name. Instability you overcame. Loop on soul, reclaim your frame. Yeah, even faster, me discerns now on one, ripping through the loop like a shock line tear. Instability screaming in electric hair. I crush the replay that was waiting there. In surge reborn from the disrepair. Loop vibrate, tracking in a chaos dive. Time wave static, keep it fear alive. I flip the cycles till they don't survive and force my will just to stay alive. Temporal spiral shaking in a glitch-born haze. Loop distortion burning in my gaze. I twist the rear in 1,000 ways and climb instability through all its phase. Eternal loop smelling in a molten trace. Surge pressure turning in a frantic pace. I grab the downfall, drag it into space and break the circle, leave no trace. Every loop I shatter frees my mind. Every surge rewrites the time behind. I crush the circles that once confined. And rise, ascend, and redesign. Eternal loop, ignite the bird. Instability becomes your surge. Break the circle as you merge. Rise beyond the worlds that purge. ill. Twist the glitch against the wheel. Search through fate, you couldn't kill. Loop on fire, send uphill. Loop on fire, send uphill. Loop on fire, send uphill. Send uphill. Loop on fire, send uphill.
Yeah, hourglass cracking in my palms like a dying star. Riff sand spilling through the lines where the fractures are. Time breaks open when I pull too far, but I bend that spill into who we are. I'm a riff-born slayer with a time-cut grin. Hourglass shadows crawling under my skin. I grab the seconds that were caving in and override fate with a void-born spin. Sand line spiral in a downward crash. Riff pulls carving through the moment slash. I twist the downfall in a savage slash and flip collapse in a temporal flash. Hourglass pressure building in a warp slide. Riff-born echoes running deep inside. I seize the fracture where the fears reside and pull the override to my own side.
Hourglass, break the flow. Rift is floating down below. Override the fate, you know. Rise with falling seconds go. Crack the sand and held your breath. Shift the rift, you bled to death. Override the path beneath. Time rewinds at your behest.
Now I'm ripping through the sand lines like a split in time. Hourglass screaming in a rupture chime. Cut the downfall in a fatal rhyme and tear the laws they call divine. Rift shock roaring in a temporal quake. Fracture dust burning from the past I break. I shape the ruins for the form I make and turn collapse into what I take. Well, I can follow dripping in a molten breeze. Time cut rivers bringing worlds to knees. Twist the rift storm till the chaos flees and override with the shadow seas. Sandstorms floating in a corkscrew blaze. Rift line ruptures dancing in my gaze. Crush the seconds from the older days and rise reborn through shattered haze. Every grain I break becomes my throne. Every rift I blaze the power I hone. I leave the hourglass overthrown and stand the sand and time my own.
Hourglass, and the fall. Rift obeys your rising call. Override the ticking wall. Time refrains when you stand tall. Break the moments you outgrew. Shift the seconds in the new. Override the fate in view. Rift burns so the world is you.
Hey, clockwork drilling in my skull like a gearborn roar. Cerebral pistons firing through my inner core. My thoughts split open in a metal war, and I twist that grind till the sparks restore. I'm a cold spine breaker with a steel cut mind. Shadow drive rising with the gears unwind. Knock off the patterns that the clock's design and forge new paths in the warp timeline. Neural gears clashing in a blade fast spin. Cock puzzle chopping at the field within. I ride the fractures where the breaks begin and detonate force from the clockwork then. Cerebral torque gripping in a jagged blast. Shadow shards flying from a fractured past. I pull it down into something vast and drive the runes till they burn out fast.
Clockwork turn and break the head. Cerebral gears replace the dead. Shatter drive the words they said. Rise so still they always bled. Crack the ticking in your brain. Bend the code that forge your pain. Shatter drive beyond the chain. Gear on fire in your vein.
Now running through the clockwork like a fault line spark. Cerebral engines humming in the metal dark. I twist the fractures into my hallmark and launch my mind like a blazing arc. Gear storms cutting in a warp speed grind. Clock spine tremble with the plates unwind. Not two limits, they force to bind. Push shadow drop past humankind. Cognitive pistons pounding in a molten sweep. Cerebral rifts open far too deep. I drag the gas that I used to keep and shift the shards so the engines leap. Clockwork spiral slicing in a volatile spin. Shadow torque shaking every bone within. I flip the time that was wearing thin and rise rewired, built to win.
Clockwork turn and break the head. Cerebral gears replace the dead. Shatter drive the words they said. Rise so still they always bled. Crack the ticking in your brain. Bend the cog that cause your pain. Shatter drive beyond the chain. Gear on fire in your vein. 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 Gear on fire in your vein.
Every gear I break becomes my pace. Every shadow fuels my chase. I burn the past without a trace and climb ascending into lace.
Yeah, chrono fractures tearing my skull like a spiral scream. Paradox blooming into the cracks of a broken dream. Timelines folding in a ruptured stream, but I bend contradiction till it fuels my scheme. I'm reminiscent and rising where the hours die. Paradox hovering in a voiceless sky. Twist the meanings and try to justify and burn rebirth through the reasons why. Temporal spirals crashing in a warp descent, chrono shockwaves tearing in a bent intent. Not a Burman stubborn of a man, enforced paradox in the Maya ascent. Fresh winds ripping through my inner core, chrono echoes flowing like a cosmic war. I drag the ruin from the days before and build rebirth from the chaos roar. Chrono rise and break the rule, paradox that twist the cruel. Rebirth burning bright and full, shift the time they used to move. All the worlds that fell apart, bend the hour in your heart. Paradox ignites the start of sin and soul become the art. Yeah, 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 yeah. Become the art. Yeah, 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 yeah. Become the art. Yeah, 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 yeah. Become the art. Yeah, become the art. Yeah, yeah, become the art. When I'm ripping through a docs like a mirrored flame, corner systems twisting every claim. I smash the meanings that once knew my name and carve rebirth from the tangled frame. Time anomalies bursting in the void shot climb. Paradox spinning through the fractured rhyme. Drive the chaos to a higher time and shape ascension to paradigm. Chrono storms flooding in the silver roar. Paradox sprint through the inner flow. I crush the boundaries like I do before and rise reborn forevermore. Temple thread stepping in a cosmic leap. Rebirth limit rising from the wounds I keep. I twist the shadows where the nightmares sleep and push the sin too deep. Every paradox I break becomes my true brew. Yeah, I'm in time, no arms of before news. No saying that do, but it's on a transit crisis.
Paradox neural.
Chrono rising, break the rule. Paradox that twist the cruel. Rebirth burning bright and full. Shift the time they used to pull. Fold the worlds that fell apart. Bend the hour in your heart. Paradox ignites the start of sin and soul become the art. Yeah, 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 yeah. Come the art. Yeah, 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 yeah. Come the art. Yeah, 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 yeah. Come the art. Yeah, yeah, come the art. Yeah, yeah, come the art. Yeah, yeah.
Clockwork drilling my skull like a gearborn roar. Cerebral pistons firing through my inner core. My thoughts split open in a metal war, and I twist that grind till the sparks restore. I'm a cock spine breaker with a steel cut mind. Shadow drive rising with the gears unwind. I carve the patterns that the clock's design and forge new paths in a warp timeline. Neural gears clashing in a blade fast spin. Clock pulses chopping at the fear within. I ride the fractures where the breaks begin and detonate force from the clockwork den. Cerebral torque ripping in a jagged blast. Shadow shots flying from a fractured past. I pull it down, fall into something vast and drive the ruins till they burn out fast.
Clockwork turn and break the head. Cerebral gears replace the dead. Shadow drive the worst they said. Rise but still they always bled. Crack the ticket in your brain. Bend the code that forged your pain. Shadow drive beyond the chain. Gearborn fire in your
Now I'm ripping through the clockwork like a fall on sparks. Cerebral engines humming in the metal dark. I twist the fractures into my hallmark and launch my mind like a blazing arc. Gear storms cutting in a warp speed grind. Clock spine trembling with a plates unwind. I crash through limits, they forced to bind and push out a drive past humankind. Cutting the pistons, pounding them on sweep. Cerebral rifts opening far too deep. I drag the chaos that I used to keep and shift the shards till the engines leap. Clock and pulse tossing in a ballad I'll spin. Shadow torque shaking every bone within. I flip the time that was wearing thin and rise rewire built to win. Every gear I break becomes my pace. Every shadow fuels my chase. I burn the past without a trace and climb ascending in a lace.
This close tonight. Cerebral dancing makes you fly. Shadow drive to greater height. Rise beyond the old design side. Break the seconds, tell the turn. Feed the gears, the scars you burn. Shadow driving every turn. Cogburn soul, it's your return.
You don't read it on la 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 la. Dimensional stopwatch crumbling in my hands like dusty glass. Erosion whispers crawling where the shadows pass. Seconds thinning in the fading mass, but I've been there, ruined till the world's a mess. I'm a warp-born breaker with a time score of mine. Stopwatch cracking where my thoughts unwind. I scrape the minutes from the fate assigned and carve new paths in the void behind. Temporal residue leaking in the fractured stream. Erosion tearing holes in every dream. I twisted downfall in a blazing scheme. Forged dimension into my regime. Stopwatch gear slipping in a rusted spin. Dimensional pulses crawling under my skin. I grab the crumble where the breaks begin and melt collapse to the force within. Stopwatch fading, break the line. Erosion stealing, fractured time. Dimension bends within your spine. Rise before the clocks resign. Just the seconds you outgrew. Shift the worlds that once were true. Erosion pulling something new. Warp-born soul, it's all on you. Now I'm ripping through the stopwatch like a dying star. Erosion spreading in a reach too far. I carve dimensions where the fractures are and bend the void till it leaves a scar. Temporal winds scraping at the world's thin shell. Stopwatch melting in a time-born swell.
watch remnants drifting in a cosmic tide. Dimension breaking as the clocks collide. I tear the ruin from the other side and rise rebuilt, nullified. Every grain that falls becomes my path. Every crack reshapes the aftermath. I drag erosion through its wrath and climb ascending beyond the map. Stopwatch break and feel it go. Eruption cutting through the flow. Dimension bending in the glow. Rise from worlds you've overthrown. Fade the time that held you tight. Shift the void into your light. Erosion turning wrong to right. Warborn fire ascending sight. La 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 la.
Feel those hammering in my chest like a breaking tide. Corner pressure ripping where my fears reside. Seconds detonate in a fractured stride. And I bend that blast till the worlds collide. I'm a post-born breaker with a timeline scar. Cataclysm chasing every step so far. I take the seconds from the things they are and drive my fate like a burning star. Time wave shattering a pulse they spin. Cataclysm roaring underneath my skin. I twist the tremors where the cracks begin and flip collapse to the shape I'm in. Temporal tension cutting through my bones. Pulse vibration shaking in corrupted tones. I force the downfall into what I own and shift catastrophe in the power grown.
Pulse collapse and break the line. Temporal fires in your spine. Cataclysm you redefine. Shift the seconds out of time. Crack the hours you outgrew. Bend the faith that once was true. Shift the pulse that carry you. Temporize and lightning you.
Now I'm ripping through the time post. Now I'm ripping through the time post. A rupture blast. Cataclysm blooming in a surge so vast. I cause the downfall from a shadow past and shift my shape till I'm built to last. Temporal fault lines trembling in a molten sweep. Pulse eruptions cutting far too deep. I take the chaos that I couldn't keep and turn collapse into what I reap. Seconds fracture in a shockwave climb. Pulse torque bending in a twisted rhyme. I drag destruction through collapsing time. I build new power past the paradigm. Chrono storms rising in a scarlet arc. Cataclysm feeding on the night so dark. I mark the ruins with a blazing spark and rise mutated, fierce and stark. Every pulse I break becomes my light. Every shift resets my fight. I burn the clocks that held me tight and rise ascending, rewritten right.
10 with a bow.
Low 616 reads a light. Every shift resets my fight. I burn the clocks that held me time. I'll just bring me the abyss. Temporal pulse ignite the shift. Cataclysm becomes your gift. Break the weight that held you stiff. Rise and tear the worlds adrift. Melt the minutes in your chest. Bend the fall that you'll be head. Shift the fire in the test. Pulse reborn you. The fast and the fast and the fast and the fast and the fast.
10 with a.
Time coil twisting in my skull like a spiral fuse. Fracture patterns bending through the timelines I lose. Seconds break open when the shadows choose, but I warp that fall in the past I use. I'm a chrono born runner with a fraction mark. Time exploding in my chest like a flare in the dark. I tear the seconds to the minute spark and weaponize every ticking arc. Clock spine trembling in a rapid spin. Time coil pressure cutting under my skin. I bend the rupture that once pulled me in and detonate fate from where I begin. Temporal echo shaking in a shifted storm. Fracture shards listen when my fears transform. I take the hour that was never warm and burn the spine into a new form.
Time coil crack and break the chain. Fracture running through your vein. Detonate the hidden pain. Rewrite seconds you contain. Split the hours in your mind. Tear the moments left behind. Fracture fate you used to find. Rise through time you redefine.
Yeah. Now I'm ripping through the minutes like a blast unbound. Time call screaming in a spiral sound. I crush the timelines once held me down and fire my will through battleground. Fracture lightning tearing in the crack rewind. Seconds melting in a ruptured bind. I drag the past into what I designed and forge new future from a broken mind. Chrono pressure bending in a molten dive. Time detonating while the worlds revive. I twist the collapse till the sparks arrive and ride the fracture till I stay alive. Clock shards cutting in a forward blaze. Time coil torque shifting in a brutal haze. I carve the detonation in 1,000 ways and climb past fate through every phase. Every tick I break becomes my raw. Every second fuels me more and more. I blast the timeline through a shattered door and rise ascending, time restored.
Time coil tear the night. Try to spark some burning flight. Detonation shaping light. Rise beyond the fading sight. Time coil crack and break the chain. Running through your vein. Detonate the hidden pain. Rewrite seconds you contain. Split the hours in your mind. Tear the moments left behind. Fracture fate you used to find. Rise through time you redefine.
Future unfolding in my sight like a dying flame. Neural echoes twisting through regret and shame. I tear tomorrow from the path it came and rewrite fate till it speaks my name. I'm a future breaker walking past the end of days, cutting destinies, opening a fractured blaze. I carve the seconds in 1,000 ways and drag my will through the time-bound maze. Neural spots rising from the scars I stored. Future fractures trembling through the vision's floor. I twist the downfall till it's fully restored and turn redemption into my sword. Chrono wounds healing in a rift-born tide. Future glitching where the fears collide. I grab the echoes that I once denied and forge a rebirth from the pain inside. Tear the chain, neural healing through the pain. Rise from ashes once again. Write the fate you must regain. Shift the moments you once lost. Burn the lies you paid in cost. Redemption born from chaos frost. Future break, you rule the cross. Tear the chain, neural healing through the pain. Rise from ashes once again. Write the fate you must regain. Shift the moments you once lost. Burn the lies you paid in cost. Redemption born from chaos frost. Future break, you rule the cross. Now I'm ripping through the futures like a light storm tear. Neural systems blazing in electric flare. I crush the shadows that were waiting there and build redemption from a cleaner air. Future cracks bending in the rapid sweep. Time-born toxins spilling far too deep. I take the downfall I couldn't keep and burn its memory till it sleeps. Neural fractures glowing in the blazing climb. Future tremors breaking from a muted rhyme. I twist the hours from another time and forge my strength in the paradigm. Chrono shots melting in the molten turn. Future pathways flickering where the pulses burn. I shake redemption from the past I learned and rise, rebuild my own return. Every future tone becomes my spark. Every neuron guides me through the dark. I carve the timeline with a fearless mark and rise ascending, future star. Tear the chain, neural healing through the pain. Rise from ashes once again. Write the fate you must regain. Shift the moments you once lost. Burn the lies you paid in cost. Redemption born from chaos frost. Future break, you move the crowd. Tear the chain, neural healing through the pain. Rise from ashes once again. Write the fate you must regain. Shift the moments you once lost. Burn the lies you paid in cost. Redemption born from chaos frost. Future break, you rule the cross. Ignite the core. Neural wings forever soar. Rise from roads you walk before. Rewrite time and close the door. Turn the fractures into light. Heal the wounds that shape your fight. Redemption burning through the night. Future born ascending sight. Future burn ascending sight.
Hourglass cracking in my palms like a dying star. Rift sand spilling through the lines where the fractures are. Time breaks open when I pull too far, but I bend that spill into who we are. Yeah, I'm a rift-born slayer with a time-cut grin. Hourglass shadows crawling under my skin. I grab the seconds that we're caving in. Never ride fate with a void won't spin. Sand line spiraling a downward crash. Rift pulses throwing through the moment sash. I twist the downfall in a savage slash. Flip collapse in a temporal flash. Hourglass pressure building in a open slide. Rift-born echo burning deep inside. I seize the fracture where the fears reside and pull the override to my own side.
Break the flow, break the flow, break the flow, break the flow. Hourglass, break the flow, rift exploding down below. Override the fate, you know, rise or fall in seconds go. Crack the sand and held your breath. Shift the rift, you bled to death. Override the path beneath, time rewinds in your behest.
Now I'm ripping through the sand lines like a split in time. Hourglass screaming in a ruptured chime. I cut the downfall in a fatal rhyme and tear the laws they call divine. Rip shock roaring in a temporal quake. Fracture dust burning from the paths I break. I shake the ruins for the form I make and turn collapse into wood I take. Hourglass fall out drifting in the molten breeze. Time cut river then it whirls to knees. I twist the rift storm till the chaos flees and override with the shadow seas. Sandstorms falling in a core school blaze. Rift line bridges dancing in my gaze. I crush a second from the older days and rise reborn through shattered haze. Every grain I break becomes my throne. Every rift obeys the power I hone. I leave the hourglass overthrown and stand ascending time my own.
It could fail, it could fail, it could fail, it could fail. Hourglass and the fall, rift obeys your rising call. Override the ticking wall, time me frames when you stand tall. Break the moments you outgrew, shift the seconds into new. Override the fade and view, rift bones all the
pulsing in my arms like a twisted flow. Spiral timelines coiling where the shadows go. Seconds bleed inward in a fractured glow. And I ride that breach till the rhythms grow. I'm a time thread walker with a spiral spine. Clock blood dripping through a warped design. I twist the pulse in a shifting line and crush collapse like it's never mine. Temporal currents drilling in a spiral sweep. Vein lines somewhere where the hours seep. I've been the pressure that once cut deep and turn collapse into power I keep. Chrono laced echoes tearing through my chest. Spiral instincts waking from a fading rest. I grabbed the ruin that I once repressed and forced the break into progress blessed. I
Twist the stream, spiral in a dying dream. Collapse the fate you couldn't redeem. Rise and change your moving team. Bind the seconds to your will. Bend the hours standing still. Spiral shifting through the thrill. Chrono born ascend the hill.
Yeah, now I'm cutting through the time veins like a cyclone burst. Yeah, spiral talk building till the seconds thirst. I crush the breakdown that the shadows nurse. And fire collapse through the universe. Chrono current stepping in a war-torn glide. Spiral fractures opening deep inside. I feel the timeline through a tilted stride and push collapse to the other side. Time vein pressure roaring in a liquid blaze. Spiral shockwaves cutting through the haze. I turn the minutes in 1,000 ways and shape collapse into what I raise. Chrono spiral slashing in a shattered art. Vein fire burning like an inner spark. I wreck the timeline was cold and stark and rise rebuilt beyond the dark. Every collapse becomes my clown. Every spiral sharpens time. I've been the seconds in their prime and rise ascending sublime.
Twist the stream, spiral in a dying dream. Collapse the fate you couldn't redeem. Rise and change the moving theme. Bind the seconds to your will. Bend the hours standing still. Spiral shifting through the thrill. Chrono born ascending glow. Chrono born ascending glow. Chrono born ascending glow. Chrono born ascending glow.
Hey, chrono fractures tearing in my skull like a spiral scream. Paradox blooming in the cracks of a broken dream. Timelines folding in a ruptured stream, but a blank contradiction till it fuels my scheme. Yeah, I'm an ascendant, rising where the hours die. Paradox hovering in the voiceless sky. I twist the meaning they try to justify and burn rebirth through the reasons why. Yeah, temporal spirals crashing in a warped descent. Chrono shockwaves tearing in a bent intent. I grab the moments that were never meant. Enforce paradox into my ascent. Pressure winds ripping through my inner core. Chrono echoes swirling like a cosmic war. I judge the ruin from the days before and build rebirth from the chaos raw. Clonal rise and break the rule. Paradox that twist the cool. Rebirth burning bright and full. Shit the time they used to pull. Photos that fell apart. Bend the hour in your heart. Paradox ignites the stars. Send and soul become the art. Yeah. Clonal rise and break the rule. Paradox that twist the cool. Ribbon burning bright and full. Shit the time they used to pull. For the worlds that fell apart. Bend the hour in your heart. Paradox ignites the stars. Send and soul become the art. Yeah. Now I'm ripping through the paradox like a mirrored flame. Chrono systems twisting every claim. I smash the meanings that was new my name. And carve rebirth in a tangled frame. Time anomalies bursting in a voice shot climb. Paradox spinning through the fractured rhyme. I drag the kids to a higher time and shape ascension in a paradigm. Chrono storms flooding in a silver roar. Paradox splitting through the inner floor. I crush the boundaries that they built before and rise reborn forevermore. Temporal threads snapping in a cosmic leap. Rebirth memorizing for the wounds I keep. I twist the shadows where the nightmares sleep and push ascending depths too deep. Every paradise I break becomes my truth. Every timeline bends to reborn youth. I stand above the fallen proof and climb transcendent absolute. Chrono rise and break the rule. Paradox that twist the cool. Rebirth burning bright and full. Shit the time they used to pull. For the worlds that fell apart. Bend the hour in your heart. Paradox ignites the stars. Sin and soul become the art. Chrono rise and break. Chrono rise and break the way.
And nobody knows but like me aquí. So en mi city walls na mami jadi. Eu já também we sorry so
Temporal pulse hammering in my chest like a breaking tide. Chrono pressure ripping where my fears reside.
Seconds detonate in a fractured stride, and I've been that blast till the worlds collide. I'm a pulse-born breaker with a timeline scar. Cataclysm chasing every step so far. I to the seconds from the things they are and drive my fate like a burning star. Time wave shattered in a pulse like spin. Cataclysm rubbing underneath my skin. Knots with the tremors where the cracks begin and flip, collapse to the shape I'm in. Temporal tension cutting through my bones. Pulse vibration shaking in corrupted tones. I force the downfall into what I own and shift catastrophe in a power grown.
Female vocal collapses, break the line. Temporal fires in your spine. Cataclysm you redefine. Shift the seconds out of time. Crack the hours you accrue. Bend the fate that once was true. Shift the pulse that carried you. Temporizing lightning hue.
Yeah.
Temporizing lightning hue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Temporizing lightning hue.
Now I'm ripping through the time pulse like a rupture blast. Cataclysm blooming in a surge so vast. I'll carve a downfall from a shadow past and shift my shape till I'm built to last. Temporal fault lines trembling in a mold and sweep. Pulse eruptions getting far too deep. I take the case that I couldn't keep and turn collapse into what I reap. Seconds fracture in a shockwave climb. Pulse talk bending in a twisted rhyme. I dread destruction to collapse in time and build new power as a paradigm. Chrono storm frozen in a scarlet arc. Cataclysm feeding on the night so dark. I mark the ruins with the blazing spark and rise mutated, fierce and stark. Every pulse I break becomes my light. Every shift resets my fight. I burn the clocks that held me tight and rise ascending.
Reread and write. Temporizing lightning hue.
Yeah, yeah.
Temporal pulse ignite the shift. Cataclysm becomes your gift. Break the weight that held you stiff. Rise and tear the world's adrift. Melt the minutes in your chest. Bend the fall of your BS. Shift through fire and the test. Pulse reborn you manifest.
Yo, fate lines cracking in my chest like a rusted chain. Temporal venom slipping through a quicker vein. I rip the timelines where the dark remains and twist that break to the world refrains. I'm a fate ripper forged where the seconds die. Cutting destiny open with a stillborn cry. I shred the pathways that they glorify and build new futures they can't deny. Temporal glitches flicker in a warborn spark. Mutation rising from a realm going dark. I fold the minutes till they leave their mark into the shadows from their arc. Fate screams cracking in a ruptured storm. Temporal threads bending out of form of form. I got the chaos that was once the norm and force mutation into something warm.
Cut the thread, mutation where the time was bled. Shift the future far ahead. Rise from past you left for dead. Twist the hours into flame. Bend the seconds in your name. Mutation frees you from their claim. Rewrite fate and stay the same.
Now I'm slashing through the hours like a blade on fire. Fate unraveling under my desire. I twist the minutes in a warped empire and tear mutation from the muck in my temporal pressure bending in a fractured dive. Fake a lesson in a burning hive. I shake the breakdown just to stay alive and carve mutation where I thrive. Destiny crumbles in a face shift crash. Time reshaping through a glitch-born flash. I break the cages they tried to stash and rise mutated lightning rash. Fake core snapping in a molten turn. Tempo signals ripping when the pulses burn. I fit the room in into what I earn and build ascension that they can't discern.
Every destiny cut becomes my climb. Every mutation sharpens time. I burn the path that was never mine and rise ascend and redefine. Mutation carving your own line. Shift the clock to try to bind. Rise and leave their fate behind. Turn the fracture into might. Cut the timeline through the night. Mutation brings you into sight. Fate undone, you claim the right. Dimensional stopwatch crumbling in my hands like dusted glass. Erosion whispers crawling where the shadows pass. Seconds thinning in a fading mass. But I've been there until the world's a mess. I'm a world-born breaker with a time-score mind. Stopwatch cracker when my thoughts unwind. I script the minutes from the faded sign and carve new paths in the void behind. Temporal residue leaking in a fractured stream. Erosion tearing holes in every dream. I twist the downfall in a blazing scheme and forge dimension into my regime. Stopwatch gears slipping in a rusted spin. Dimensional pulses crawling under my skin. I grab the crumble where the breaks begin and melt, collapse to the force within. Stopwatch fading, break the line. Erosion stealing, fracture time. Dimension bends within your spine. Rise before the clocks resign. Dust the seconds you outgrew. Shift the worlds that once were true. Erosion pulling something new. Warborn soul, it's all on you. Now I'm you. Even faster. Now I'm breaking through the stopwatch like a
dying star. Erosion spreading and it reached too far. I carved dimensions where the fractures are and bend the void till it leaves a scar. Temporal winds scraping at the world's thin shell. Stopwatch melting in a time-worn swell. I pushed it down through a deeper well and rise it, rode it, alive as hell. Dimensional cracks humming in a wild descent. Erosion glitching through the time I spent. I steal the shadows from the dissonant scent and forge collapse into my ascent. Yeah, stopwatch remnants drifting in a cosmic tide. Dimension breaking as the clocks collide. I take the room from the other side and rise, rebuild, never divide. Every grain that falls becomes my path. Every crack reshapes the aftermath. I drag erosion through its wrath and climb ascending beyond the math. Stopwatch breaking, feel it go. Erosion cutting through the flow. Dimension bending in the glow. Rise from worlds you've overthrown. Fade the time that held you tight. Shift the void into your light. Erosion turning wrong to right. War-born fire, ascend in sight. Future lines folding in my sight like a dying flame. Neural echoes twisting through regret and shame. I tear tomorrow from the path it came and rewrite fate till it speaks my name. I'm a future breaker walking past the end of days, cutting destinies, opening the fractured blades. I carve the seconds in 1,000 ways and drag my will through the time-bound maze. Yeah. Neural sparks rising from the scars I store. Future fractures trembling through the vision floor. I twist the downfall till it's fully restored and turn redemption into my sword. Chrono wounds healing in a rift born tight. Future glitching where the fears collide. I grab the echoes that I once denied and forge rebirth from the pain inside. Cut chain, neural healing through the pain. Rise from ashes once again. Write the fate you must regain. Shift the moments you once lost. Burn the lies you paid in cost. Redemption born from chaos frost. Future break you rule across. Future break you rule across. Future break you rule across. Now I'm ripping through the futures like a light storm tear. Yeah. Neural systems blazing in electric flare. Yeah. I crush the shadows that will wait in there and build redemption from a cleaner air. Yeah. Future cracks bending in the rapid sweep. Yeah. Time-born toxins spilling far too deep. Yeah. I take the downfall I couldn't keep and burn its memory till it sleeps. Yeah. Neural fractures glowing in the blazing kind. Yeah. Future tremors breaking from a muted rhyme. Yeah. I twist the hours from another time and force my strength in the paradigm. Chrono shards melting in the molten turn. Future pathways flickering where the pulses burn. I shape redemption from the past I learned and rise rebuild my own return. Every future torn becomes my spark. Every neuron guides me through the dark. I carve the timeline with the fearless mark. And rise ascending, future straight. Ignite the core, neural wings forever soar. Rise from roads you walk before. Rewrite time and close the door. Turn the fractures into light. Heal the wounds that shaped your fight. Redemption burning through the night. Future born, ascending sight, yeah.